Find us in the third and final hour of the Power Zone. Our time is 8 minutes after 2 o'clock. Welcome to it. If you've just joined us, you missed a lot, right? You missed out on a lot. The first, the second, and the last hour. But no, we're in the last hour now. You're not, actually far off. We can still really rally behind this hour because there's a lot that we have on the agenda as we go into the last hour. I told you that we're going to be getting candid this morning with Clive Bean. Clive Bean is a music professional. Clive is a DJ, but also a music compiler, lecturer, a man of many hats, coming through this morning to really just give us a sense of his journey. And I see that this is an individual that has been in this space for well over 20 years. So this morning we'll be getting some of the juices as to the longevity and how he's gotten himself this far. Later on, we'll also play a little bit of a mix, right, from Clive as we introduce you to him, so you can get a sense of who we're talking about and the artist behind some of this work that he'll be describing here. You still find us live on 0861 987 000. Thereby X we go by at Power FM 987 at Katlego Legodi _ and yeah, you're welcome to rally behind this particular segment of the show as well. And later on we'll be breaking it down and just reflecting on the life and time of General Bantu Oholo Misa. Clive, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Morning, Katlego. How are you doing?
I'm okay, man. How are you?
I'm all good. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure, man. Do you go by the tag DJ, or do we just keep it to Clive?
Clive is fine. Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you very much for giving us your time and joining us on the show this morning. I see that you are a busy man, and your busyness is just linked, right? Because we see you, being a DJ, we see you moving into this space, you are lecturing, it's in line with what you do as well. But something that was fascinating for me was the fact that you've been doing it for well over 20 years, Clive. I mean,
that's 29 years.
What? It's close to democracy, close to the dispensation. So you've been at it. Maybe let's start there, man, to say, what kept you going, all of these years, one year after the other, because often you hear people when they, look at you being in this space, they take it as somewhat of a flimsy space to be in. It's a hobby of some sort. When you say you want to be a DJ, you want to go into music, they tend to believe that, nah, man, there's no structure there. Maybe later on in life you'll come back to say, now I'm a 9 to 5. But we find you still pushing, man, 29 years on.
Yeah, well, I guess it's loving the music, man. I've been passionately in love with music since, I would say, my early teens, and luckily, I've come up from a family that is quite musically inclined. My mom used to run stock fairs when I was pretty young, so I literally used to have soundtracks of music every single day. That was just like my 80s. Went to high school. I was still doing mixtapes for my classmates. I was selling tapes on my Saturday school. Varsity, I ended up in the community radio station there, and so it's been, I guess, being at the right space at the right time.
Yeah.
I get to do this hobby thing, which has now turned out to be my vocation, straight up from varsity, even after work when I was still doing my practicals, I would find gigs and clubs, and I ended up in a radio, in a record store position where I started working for what you know as Soulcandi, and ended up then with Boston Media House teaching their music business and DJing courses. So I guess alignment perhaps, but besides that, then I got to release albums and on and on and on, and then clubs, and then I ended up in a sound design theater space. So it's
Sure. Yours is a very interesting journey as well, because we see it just building on one really space within this space, one aspect of this space after the other. And I guess when you say that you started with mixtapes, you were selling music here and there, then one would say years later, they wouldn't be shocked, man, to find you still saying that, no, man, I'm still gigging, I'm still vibing. You find me in this space because you've always been this guy.
Yeah. It's so funny you say that. Last year we did our high school reunion, and meeting up with the guys for that I haven't seen for over like 2 decades, and they were still shocked, like, wow, you're still into this? But like, I guess if you like be DJ in your class in like your grade 10, you can imagine that, like, if you really love this and if the odds are all for you, you'll probably be where you're supposed to be with music. And I was lucky that my hobby was literally also my 9 to 5. It doesn't really happen that much.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Because you get a lot of people that would say that it doesn't even feel like I'm going to work, man. I wake up and I'm doing what I love.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was blessed with that. I've been on it, man. I've been on it.
And let's talk about the journey as well, the ups and the downs, because like I said, when you start and when you go into this space, other people may frown upon you going into this space because they don't understand the dynamics and the culture and how you can really professionalize this particular space. They see it as a hobby and you don't see them really coming through for you the way that they should. Also, at the same time, others may look at it and think that it's a piece of cake. It's just a walk in the park, because of the fact that they would believe that behind this is glitz and glam. You're gonna be a celebrity, Muna. Everything else is gonna work out for you. People are gonna love you. You know what I mean? And you find that no, as you go into this space, it's not the same. You have to put in the work. You have to deal with a lot of dynamics. How has it been?
Listen, Katlego, you're right. Those two dynamics are real and they coexist. Where one, like, I had to really convince my parents to drop a degree in mining metallurgy and pursue music. It's not an easy thing. It took me years. I literally wasn't even talking to my mom for almost 3 years. Because she wasn't really happy with the fact that there is no security, inverted commas, because I believe there is. With that, I had to prove my parents wrong, that, there is some sort of sustainable growth in it and there is some income, which is the security at the end of the day. But truth of the matter is, over years, the DJ industry and the digital music industry has really developed in such a way that one can have a career on it. That's why we, with Soulcandi, we started establishing Institute of Music, where we were teaching these what you can call orb careers, where one wouldn't believe that one would be successful, shy from the fact that we have one of the biggest international DJs in this country, Black Coffee, who comes from almost the same kind of background, where there was no steady foundation where one can go to an Institute of Music, learn this, and have a certain qualification, if you may. So it wasn't easy, but I was blessed, man. I was almost at the right place at the right time. The glitz and glamour comes with the game, and some can be a downfall because if you're chasing that, it's not very easy. You're like 1 in 100 to be a Black Coffee in this country. But then, because the industry has so developed, we don't need to have so many Black Coffees. You can have one and you can have the rest, not making the biggest cash, but sustaining living. So, I guess those two kind of played out, as I said, simultaneously. But one has to have the guts and the will to push it through, because it's a very suppressing kind of game. There's a lot of backstabbing. This week you get a gig, next week your best friend took that gig away from you. So you have to thick skin. But most of all, you have to be really in love with it. Passion is the sole driver of this. If you want to turn this hobby to a vocation, and also a little bit of knowledge, take short courses here and there, know a little bit about the music business, know how huge the game is, I had to have some extra income otherwise. Hence, I did have a 9-to-5. Working for a music store was a 9-to-5, even though one would say, oh, it's such a privileged space.
It's
so connected. It links. But even if you could work as a waitress, even if you can work, whatever it is, one way or the other, you might need some backup. It's like soccer, man. You can't be a star for more than 5 seasons and still being on the pedestal. You gotta have maybe take coaching lessons or courses, so that if you still wanna be in the sports industry. So I guess it's synonymous to our music industry, especially the digital aspect.
And just a reminder to our listeners at home that you'll find us burning this midnight oil this morning with DJ Clive Bean. He's here just giving us a sense of who he is in our Candid Corner. And this morning just going through his journey in this music space. And there's a lot, really, that you can learn from this man in terms of just staying within the game and ensuring that really you capitalize on where you find yourself, as we see him pushing it for 29 years and 29 years on, he's still really more or less doing the most. Also, something that is notable that I appreciate is the fact that he's pushing the skills, also helping the upcoming ones, right? So that is what we when Mona Clive, that you really pass the baton. You don't find yourself in any way hoarding the space and holding on to the skills and not wanting to pass them on, because that's how legacies are really developed. And I love the fact that you also moved into just understanding the business of the game and mastering it and trying by all means to stay relevant in that. But also something that I've picked up as well is your versatility, because this then pushes you as well, as much as you are consistent, but being versatile as well, being a DJ, being able to be a music compiler, you're a lecturer, you are an events coordinator, you host, you know what I mean? You push workshops as well. So this tells us that you are one person that will never go hungry because you're versatile, and that's important, right?
It is. I mean, a body is called a corpse when you're dead, because it's a corporation. And a corporation is a multiverse. You can't run a corporation which is just one unit based. I've always believed in being multi-versatile. Even on a young age, I was doing a lot of things. I was cutting grass, dude. I was selling homeworks. I was doing literally everything and anything that one can do. I won't say it's even a skill. It's just in me to be able to do that. But so it is in everyone, So I guess that also pushed me in advocating for music business, where I saw a void and a need for most of our music content producers and music players to know a little bit about music rights, ownership, authorship. What are the differences of remuneration? Physical royalties, mechanical royalties. Those were just things that were taboo, and that's where the money was based on. And I think that's why today we still have this big problem of artists dying without any money legacies that they leave behind, or them living a life that's comfortable. To give us a very good example of, okay, cool, this is a good industry to be in. So mostly it was based on lack of knowledge, understanding of how the music business world works, as shrewd as is. I keep on saying shrewd because it is shrewd, from a player's point of view, and even from the administrator's point of view, who largely take big sums of money, and artists end up not having those monies. But it's also based on the lack of knowledge. So hence, these workshops started. I've done a couple with the Soweto theater, Isaac Morrison Music School, here and there. We're pushing workshops just to empower and develop the industry from this being a micro to be a micro industry that is a sustainable system in the GDP of the country, and also to be able to take the music outside the country, being an international, a global player also. Yeah. So, in a way, doing those kind of things kept me also relevant in the space. I didn't have to be always releasing music. I mean, the last compilation I did was in 2014. And how do you stay relevant? Relevant is not only in being on the pedestal or on the platform DJing. Also, you can do most with empowering others and showing them how they can be sustainable. So yeah, I guess that's me being versatile, but also it just keeps me alive.
That is good to hear, Mana. And how have you picked up on the evolution of this space over time? I know that when you started back then, you were pushing, you know what I mean? And it's about you also in the hip-hop, the influence of hip-hop, because I'm seeing here that, the things were like that. But now we see various of genres playing themselves out, music evolving, and there are new, beats that are introduced as well. How has it been, in terms of your observation? And do we see you moving with it? Where do we find you right now?
Listen, a body needs to be fluid, man. It can't be stagnant. Energy is from potential to kinetic. So I've literally embraced and enjoyed it from starting off at cassettes, straight into vinyl. I mean, I started my first record, I think it was in 1992. Right? And then there were cassettes, and then we had the CD era, and then the vinyl came back strong, and then we had the digital era where we're using our laptops, and then we moved into now our USB. So in terms of the format, I've kind of enjoyed it as much as I'm still nostalgically in love with the sound of record, So. But because I love music, which was the consistency in all this changing of formats, and so was the genres of music too. They've also changed. I mean, like initially we used to call all music international music. We had no definitions for R&B and soul. We had no definition for acid jazz and punk or funk. We had no definitions for house music. But as everything else became clearer in the country post 94, these genres started formalizing themselves in terms of the names, but the sound we still recognize, like, oh, I remember this sound, So for me, it's been fluid, the whole migration from one style into another, and it's music. You can't separate it by genres. That's just almost like all is food. We got veggies, we got food, so you can't just say, I love.
I'm just sticking to this. I'm just sticking to the cucumber.
No. Salad is a mix of
salad, and you just don't mix everything all together.
Exactly. You can't just say, I'm out of my Greek salad, I'm only gonna have this part. You have the whole thing. And for me, that's been the fascination of the DJ game, where you have a guy say, I'm a deep house DJ. I'm like, no, man, you're a music DJ. Deep house is what you play for a certain preference.
Exactly. Don't limit yourself because then opportunities will come, and then when you just not get the gigs, you see.
Imagine getting an event where a client wants you to play socky music. You've never heard of socky. You don't collect socky, and that's where you're done. Business gone. Yeah. But if you're a multiverse, you have a multiple palette. Your taste palette is all over the place. It's very easy for you, and that's where growth is based. I don't see growth in one sector or one genre. It's suicidal.
Ish, Bean, time flies, man. I'm looking at the time. I wanted to play some of your music as well, but
Oh yeah.
before I
Wow.
let you
That's
go,
nice.
I want to understand. Maybe give us a sense of the work that you do there at the Boston City campus, the Soulcandi Institute of Music, and maybe there's someone that wants to follow in your footsteps, or they are somehow lost in this space and they want to revive themselves. What goes on there? What is on offer? And how can people actually get themselves closer to what you guys do there?
Oh yeah, cool. So the work I did there, I actually since left the institution,
Ah,
but I still kind of give out information
mm,
along that line because it's very important for people to get empowered like that.
yeah.
Okay, so I was the music business head lecturer, and I also did the DJ 101 courses and DJ 102 and music theory. Those were the courses that I was doing for Boston.
Mm,
So basically, anyone who's interested in what I call electronic music, whether it's the production or whether it's the music business aspect of it or the playing, the DJing aspect of it, you can
mhm.
contact Soul Candy through Boston. So you can check the Boston website. And then click onto the media house, and then it will give you the options of courses that one can do. Got music production, which is a year course. We've got the music business, which is a 3 month course, and the DJ course, which is also a 3 month course. All the details are available on the Boston Media House website. Otherwise, one can follow me on
Yes.
handles Facebook Clive Bean Africa, and Instagram Clive Bean, and also on TikTok Clive Bean. 845. TikTok is Clive Bean underscore 845. And yeah, that's where one
Uh,
could get more information about me. But in terms of courses, as I said, go to the Boston Media House website and you'll get more information in regards to courses. And it's for everyone. Hey, I mean,
mm,
to be honest, I know there's this fear amongst parents on like giving their kids opportunity to go study these courses, and some like, oh, are they even accredited, or is there any opportunities? Firstly, they are accredited, and secondly, there are multiple opportunities. Doing this course. I mean, look around you. Everything that you hear around now is piano, and it's big. All your big superstars are piano, and all these guys they had to learn it either through themselves, self-taught, or find someone. We offer more comprehensive spaces and courses where one can,
all
do
right.
it, and there's summative, informative assessments. Man, it's a school, you know.
Yeah, it's
So
important that people empower themselves, man. I mean, now we live
absolutely.
in a very tricky world. So the more skilled you are, the better. So it
Mm,
positions
mm,
you. So I'd advise everyone, even if maybe you are a person that is already in this space, just get yourself recognized by an
to upskill.
institution. Link yourself within, yeah, get upskilled, that
Mm.
becomes very important. Clive, I appreciate you starting the day with us, man. You are officially the dime of the music industry in our eyes, and
Thank
we
you.
really appreciate your journey and having stayed the course. I mean, really, this gives a sense to these young ones that it's possible, right? It's possible to stay the course and to really just grow as you go, and to give back as much as you can as well as you go
Absolutely.
along. So we really, really appreciate you, man, and continue doing the great work that you're doing. We'll follow you.
Thank you very much, Katlego. Have a beautiful one, yeah.
Same to you, man. Clive Bean coming through here as a music professional, as a DJ, someone that has been in this space for 29 years. Can you believe it? Yeah, he's the dime of the music industry in our eyes here, looking at the work that is done over time. And just, yeah, an overall cool guy, man. Do follow his work as well, but do take up that opportunity as well that he gave us details on around just the Soul Candy Institute of Music, the Boston City campus leg of it, and this would help you empower yourself. So do check him out as well on various of the social media platforms. And I guess this is where you'll also get a sense of where to find him in these spaces, where he's performing, and everything else in between.